Today's Tips du Jour mailbag question comes to us from Texas. Robert, I recently hurt my back and I'm now finding it uncomfortable to work at my bench. Can you offer some advice? Dan in Texas. Well, Dan, first of all, I'm sorry to hear about your injury. I hope you have a speedy recovery. Some things that I've learned over the years is, first of all, check your bench height. Is it too high or is it too low? Working with a bench that is not comfortable in the first place can cause problems, especially if you've already injured your back or have an injury to your body. Something that I learned years ago when I started learning how to French polish is that I started doing a lot of French polish, and I developed some carpal tunnel issues in my hand. I'm left-handed when I French polish, and I was having some pretty serious carpal tunnel issues in the thumb and forefinger. And after I analyzed my technique, I had this death grip after about 10 minutes of polishing on the pad. And I thought, well, why am I doing that? So once I removed the stress and tension from the movement, then the issue was solved. So check your technique. Make sure you're not introducing any undue stress into your technique or some tension into your technique that you really don't need. Analyze your technique as you work. Recently, I was in Grand Junction, Colorado. Beautiful area of the country, by the way, if you ever get through that area on the border with Colorado and Utah. I was visiting Australian luthier Bo Hannum, and he is now living in that part of the country and makes some fantastic ukuleles and guitars. And while I was there, he showed me a jig that he used because he hurt his back. Let's go visit him. I've had my camera with me. I'll introduce you to that jig. Perhaps it will help you in your injury as well. All right, so here I am in Grand Junction, Colorado. I'm in Australian luthier Bo Hannum's shop, and Bo has guitars and ukuleles that he does here in the shop, and he also has a really neat jig that I think will help you with that back problem. So I'm going to step out of the camera. I'm going to let Bo show you the jig.
So in 2016, I was making this new workshop in Grand Junction, and I really hurt my back, and I was out of action for about a month, and that was financially damaging. I sort of lost a lot of money because I couldn't bring in any revenue. I was literally on my back. So what I came up with to try and not be leaning over the bench and carving braces was this articulating table, which is made from a Wilton pow-r-vise, and it's a fully articulating little proper size table for carving any brace you want. So instead of leaning over, I can just sit here with a straight back and either with a chisel or little plane, just go to work with a brace. This is mostly for ute backs, and but guitar tops fit on here as well. And my stool here is also, I can adjust the height, which also helps with just getting this all correct. And if I'm starting with a new brace, I usually clamp this, and you can release this. It's basically a ball vise, and you can move this in any direction that you want. So even if you're standing up, you can be leaning over it at an optimum angle. So it's kind of like a mini drafting table, and it's really helped my back, and I haven't had any back problems associated with leaning over at a bad angle. It's just that sort of slight kink which really aggravates the back, I found after doing research about it all, and this has really helped. So Dan in Texas, thank you very much again for your question. I hope the information I provided here perhaps will give you some ideas and help you work a little more comfortably, and I hope you have a speedy recovery. Happy building.